Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy, Russian writer, soldier, and philosopher. He came from a noble family and received a good education. In his youth, he joined the army and took part in the Caucasian War. He spent most of his life writing and developing his philosophical thoughts at his estate in Yasnaya Polyana. He began studying law and Oriental languages at Kazan University, where teachers described him as incapable and unwilling to learn. Tolstoy served as a young artillery officer during the Crimean War and was in Sevastopol during the 11-month siege of Sevastopol in 1854-55, including the Battle of Chernaya. His bravery during the war was admired, and he was promoted to lieutenant. 2 trips across Europe transformed Tolstoy from a writer of amoral and privileged society into a non-violent and spiritual anarchist. In Paris, Tolstoy witnessed a public execution, a traumatic experience that marked the rest of his life. In a letter to his friend Vasily Botkin, Tolstoy wrote, "The truth is that the state is a conspiracy designed not only to exploit, but above all, to corrupt its citizens. Henceforth, I will not serve any government anywhere." It was during this period that he decided to marry, and it was during this period that he wrote his 2 most powerful novels, War and Peace and Anna Karenina. While writing Anna Karenina, he had an interesting memory of his maid. When Lev Tolstoy was writing Anna Karenina, there was an incident when his maid entered his room and asked him not to disturb her. Tolstoy was working hard on the novel and did not want to be distracted. The maid entered Tolstoy's room and brought him his dinner. Tolstoy told the servant to leave the room and not to return unless there was an emergency. The maid was surprised and worried that Tolstoy had reacted so harshly. Thinking something was wrong, she informed Tolstoy's relatives. The relatives were also worried and went to Tolstoy's house. When they opened the door, they saw Tolstoy lying on the floor in the fetal position and crying. When they asked Tolstoy what had happened, he said, "Anna Karenina is dead." This incident shows how attached Tolstoy was to Anna Karenina and how much he identified with the characters of the novel.